This episode of Capes and Lunatics is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. Get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com. Hey everyone, welcome back to another month of the Nightwing news. I am Phil, and joining me as always is...
Hello.
It's Kristen. She's much too shy.
Hey, Phil, it says not recording on my end.
Oh, no, I'm recording.
Okay, just checking.
All right, so got a bunch of stuff to cover this time. We got the end of Young Justice Outsiders. We got the first two episodes of Titan Season 2, and then we got just out today, Nightwing issue 64.
Yep. So should we start with what is the oldest? So
Sure.
Okay, so Young Justice Outsiders. It finished so long ago. It feels like. I mean, not that long.
It's only what, like a week or two, or was it 2 weeks?
That was like 3 weeks. Man, well, almost. It's getting close to a month, like 25 days, I think.
I
don't know. We just started school, so it's been 4 weeks, so it feels like a long time.
So, what did you think? Did you like the wrap up?
So I did. I was really excited that they made Black Lightning. He's going to be the new leader of the Justice League, because I would say Black Lightning was definitely the standout character of this season. I would say of the old, like, people who'd been in it before characters, Black Lightning was the standout. And then obviously among the new characters, it was Halo for sure.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, Black Lightning was really cool. And so I was excited about that. It was also great because, you know, when Dick invited everybody to come and he was like, wow, so many people showed up. And Batman was like, they respect you more than you realize. I was like, no. That's so special. I wasn't. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I was going to say, I figured they were going to go that way with Black Lightning, but I was almost hoping, especially after Batman said that, like, Nightwing was going to lead the Justice League, but I'm just biased.
Yeah, but I think that they can't really have. I don't know. I mean, it depends on where they go with the show. But if you're going to be leading the Justice League, it honestly means you're not going to be in the show as much. So you would really want that.
That's true. That's true. I just want to see him get his respect, though.
Right. Well, you know, he did. Because I have to look back. I forget what the last 4 episodes were. Let me see. I will say, I mean, okay, it worked out, but I was a little disappointed what happened with Tara, that at the end they were just like, oh, we knew the whole time that you were potentially going to betray us. You don't have to. And she was like, okay, you're right, I don't. And then she just did it.
Yeah, I know. All right, the last 4
But I did not see Brienne stealing the throne coming. I did not see that coming.
The Mad King.
So that was pretty impressive, I thought.
So yeah, the last 4 episodes: Terminus, Into the Breach, Overwhelmed, and Nevermore.
Yeah, Terminus. Oh wait, no, it's starting. I just want to hear the blurb. Nevermore. So yeah, I mean, I thought it ended well.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you know, like Vic really came to it. Yeah, I mean, it was good. I don't know. Young Justice is a really good show. They know what's up. So, you know, they've got that.
So got
that going on.
Do you think they're ever going to bring Wally back, or is he permanently dead?
Oh, wait, in Young Justice or just in general?
Young Justice.
I don't know, because I would generally say in comic books, no, but because they had those episodes where, you know, Dick had the memories of Wally, and then that made Artemis realize that she hadn't fully processed his death, and they had that thing where she kind of went to the zone. It felt like she was going to limbo. Well, they said she was going to limbo, but really it was kind of Miss Martian giving her that mental space. I mean, that felt like they were kind of trying to be final about it, that like everybody's coming to terms, Wally's dead. But I don't know.
Yeah, but speedsters really don't. Well, they die, but they go to the Speed Force, so it's kind of like, I mean, Barry Allen came out of that in the comics after like 20-some years, so.
Nightwing, what are you knocking down over there? Cat's getting into something. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Jason's back. I mean, we didn't see Jason die in the series, but we know that he's back. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, regardless, I thought it was a good episode. That was really an emotionally powerful episode.
Yeah.
And I thought it was good, particularly in a show to kind of, I mean, I don't know, kids need to know about this too.
I mean, I liked that the focus was on Beast Boy and his outsiders a lot, but it's like I did not like that Nightwing wasn't in a bunch of those second half episodes.
The whole thing that just feels weird to me, I mean, it's a minor quibble, but it's weird to me that the Outsiders is the more public-facing team, because it seems in the comic the Outsiders were always like black ops, I thought, and plus the whole name Outsiders kind of feels like a little bit sneakier, but whatever.
But I think it was like they were more, oh, we're the cool kids.
Yeah, well, and I guess it's because they must not be able to use. I mean, I don't know this for sure, but I assume they must not be able to use the Titans branding because that's being used in other ways, would be my guess.
They're either saving it for something or they're just like, oh no, we have the Titans show. So,
I mean, what they were doing, it wouldn't have made as much sense for them to be called Titans, since we're so used to seeing the Titans. I mean, the Beast Boy works, but we're used to seeing other people's Titans, so they had to use a different name. And I mean, I guess Outsiders was kind of the only one left, but anyway, it was good. I'm interested to see where they go next, because I guess I sent you that picture because I didn't know what it was, but you said what? Wait, it's the ring. The one coffee pot pouring hand had was Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah, every member has like a flight ring. Yeah,
so that'll probably be some more people. I mean, we know Jason and Damian are around, so that could be a thing.
Yeah,
but that's the one thing that I don't quite. And I mean, it's fine because they're keeping us guessing. I can't always predict. I thought that with Tara, they were setting it up to be something bigger than it ended up being, and really, Tara was resolved in 10 seconds. And so that was kind of, I thought that her sort of betrayal arc was going to be a thing, and it wasn't. So I feel that I really cannot predict what's going to happen with the Jason thing. That is, Ra's al Ghul and Talia going to try to use Jason. I mean, are we going to have a kind of under the red hood sort of thing? Who is this character? Oh, what's going on? Or is it going to be one episode where Jason pops up and it's like, hey, Jason's back, and then we just keep on trucking with something else?
Yeah,
I can't tell what I think will happen.
It just seems like at least on the animated side, they love to like twist stuff around. So they're like, oh, you do, like remember when we watched Hush? It was like, oh, you don't know what we're gonna do next.
Right. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward. I mean, it's gonna have another season. I mean, I assume now that people went to all the effort of getting Young Justice back, and
I think they confirmed at least one more season. So
yeah, no, I know they did, but I was gonna say I think that they could go on for a while.
Oh yeah,
I mean, we've got so many characters. I think it'll be interesting to see. I mean, I would understand if they did it; it would make us sad, of course. But if they started to move, into focusing more on other characters. It's like with every season they're moving away from the core kids of the first season. That'll make us sad, of course, but I can see them doing that over time.
Or just make it like 2 or 3 different series, and you can vote. You can have like a different team on each series.
Yeah, you could, but it's my understanding that it takes a lot of work to make an animated show. So that would probably be too much.
You got to hire more people.
Right. And then we might have to pay the CEO like a couple $100,000 less a year. We can't do that, though.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You're practically sounding like a communist over there.
You'd have 2 yachts and 4 homes. What was I thinking?
Exactly. What are you thinking? But and they're going to have to do some stuff with Brion in the coming up seasons.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big deal. Well, and of course, the thing is, the light is still kicking around. It's like they're always beating the crap out of people, but yet they're never actually doing anything to the light.
Yeah.
What's the light versus the reach? And I know this makes me sound dumb.
The reach are the aliens, aren't they? And then the light is just that, they're all our human villains.
Okay, so the reach is bigger than the light.
Well, wasn't weren't they like those aliens? Isn't that like where Blue Beetle Scarab comes from and stuff? And
I know, I always forget. I know they talk about the reach and the light, but I forget is one Earth and one's everybody, not just on Earth. I forget which.
Yeah, I think the reach is like the aliens, like they were fighting in season 2 and stuff, and yeah, I think the light's like everyone, like Lex Luthor and Vandal Savage, and yeah, all the Earth villains.
So wait, so reach is bigger or light is bigger?
Well, I'm assuming reach could be like a whole alien race. The light's powerful, but yeah.
All right. Okay. That makes sense.
Then I think everyone has a problem with Darkseid.
Right. Yeah. For sure.
Because we got to get to that. But yeah, that just bugs me about the light. It's this, because it seems like every season they're like, oh, they may have defeated us here, but we still won. We lost this battle, but we'll win the war.
Right. I mean, I guess that's how you get to be a supervillain, though, is you're never phased. No defeat is one defeat too many. You're like, I'm just going to keep on going.
That's right. I can't. You've beat me here and there, but I will still win the war.
That's right.
What?
Speaking of which, as I told you, I love that Trump joke in that one episode.
Oh, yeah.
Lex Luthor, there were good people on both sides. I was like, oh, burn. I was actually impressed that DC went that mildly political.
And it only makes common sense.
Because like I told you, you're never, if Lex Luthor's on your side, you're never on a side with good people. Like, that's just obvious. He's not a good guy.
Yeah. He's only interested in himself.
Titans. Do you have any other Young Justice thoughts? Are you ready for Titans?
No, I mean Young Justice was good. Can't wait for the next season. But yeah, let's get to Titans.
Oh, but real quick, I forgot. Last time since I was complaining about the voice actor for Dick and Hush, I really like Jesse McCartney's voice as Dick Grayson.
Oh yeah.
I know he's like a teeny bopper or whatever. Well, I mean, now I assume he's in his 20s. Now he's a grown man. But I know he was like Disney Channel famous. But he does a good job. His voice fits for. It works very well for who Dick. I think it fits Dick Grayson better than the guy who does the voicing in the like Batman and Son, Hush.
Yeah. I think so too.
But such is life.
But speaking of Dick Grayson, what about Titan season 2?
Yes. Now Titans. Now we can transition.
Yeah. All right. The season premiere, did it seem weird to you at all? Like the pacing and stuff?
Well, yeah, a little. Okay, so first I have to say that so far, I know it's only been 2 episodes, but I've been like, oh yeah, like so far I've loved it more than last season because it's not as gritty yet. And Bruce and Dick are getting along. When he went and had that talk with Bruce, I was like, oh my God. Because you know I love that kind of stuff.
Well, from what I've
So-
heard, and this makes complete sense, that the season premiere was supposed to be the season finale last season.
Oh, okay, yes. Because so I did think that Trigon got wrapped up very quickly.
Yes.
Because it was kind of going along, and then he was defeated. And I looked at my watch and I was like, that can't be right. This is a short episode. And then, then when they went and talked to, and he did it. And then I really liked it I thought it was good. Yes, but you're right. The pacing did seem off. And I can't help but wonder, is Trigon really, I guess if that had been if the Trigon part had been like the last season part, like that half of the episode, then I might have made more sense, because I just feel like that seemed too fast. Is Trigon really gone? And maybe he is, but it also seems to me that you could use that as like, haha, he was tricking you.
I don't know, with beings like that, what they call them, a cosmic demon, instead of the devil or whatever. With things like that, I think it's like you can never really kill them, but it's like you can destroy their physical body, and then he goes back to wherever dimension he's
right.
from.
And I guess that is also, I noticed it a little bit in Young Justice too. When you're building up, you can take a long time and do all kinds of really cool, making new friends, being detective-y, whatever things when you're building up. But yeah, generally when it comes to the big showdown, I feel like a lot of times it does kind of feel like a letdown, because you can't build up to the showdown for 10 episodes and then also have the whole fight take 10 episodes, because that would get boring.
Yeah.
And now I'm turning in for yet another hour of them fighting. So it always feels like, how did you just defeat Trigon in 5 minutes?
Yeah, he could be back, but
yeah. So that did feel like, but I liked it. I liked how, Raven got in there, and now she has her gemstone, and
but
and like I said, of course, I loved that he went back and talked to Bruce. I must admit, and this is maybe a little unfair because I can't act, but I don't think the guy who plays Bruce Wayne is a very good actor.
Was he from Game of Thrones or something? I didn't watch it, but I think but my whole problem with him is like, it's fine, but he doesn't scream Bruce Wayne to me. It's just he seems too old.
Maybe he doesn't. I think it's because he has very blonde hair, and so he kind of looks like he slightly has white hair, or that he's bald. I think it's because he's really blonde. His hair is very blonde, and so that's weird.
Is it really blonde? I thought it was like white or gray, so that's what's throwing me. And I'm just I don't know if I physically see him as a convincing Batman, which I could move past, but again, he seemed old. He just seems too old. Because I know people were making.
But see, I think that his age seemed fine to me, because I think, well, number one, I think it's always stupid when the comics are trying to adhere to like, Bruce Wayne's 29, whatever. No, he's not. And please don't make him 29, because now that I'm past 29, it makes me feel bad about myself.
I don't want him to be 20.
I prefer what?
I don't want him to be 29, but it's just like people were making comparisons. But, the Dark Knight Returns.
He needs to. Yes, I prefer to think of maybe Bruce Wayne when he takes Dickin as maybe 29, so that way he's like 35. But it's like Bruce Wayne feels like he's maybe 35-ish, but then he always feels like he's 35, and he can't actually always be 35, because sadly the world doesn't work like that. Although it does for Bruce Wayne. So it's not so much that I think he's too old, because Dick's kind of old in this show. I think the actor who plays him is like 29 or 30. So I think everybody's kind of aged. Some of the characters are aged up. Raven, Rachel, she was Dick's same age, but then didn't she get like reincarnated in a younger person's body, so she was a Teen Titan all over again?
It's just, I don't know, the age. Maybe it's just the actor playing Bruce Wayne just seems older than me, but the age gap seems too big between Bruce and Dick. I always see Bruce as like somewhere in the range of being like he's old enough to almost be his father, maybe a bigger brother, but it seems like they have decades between them.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's probably good to think of Bruce as like 15-ish, maybe.
Yeah,
years
maybe.
older than Dick. So yeah, I mean, that'd make Bruce like 45.
But and again, do you want to make him too old? Because we're only on Jason. I mean, we still got to get to Tim and Damian.
Well, right, because I mean, Jason clearly must be old enough to, I guess, be out of high school. I don't know. Obviously, that's not really a major thing that people worry about in superhero shows, although I do worry about their education.
Well, I mean,
stay in school, kids.
I mean, I guess Dick has a curriculum going at the tower, as we see in the second episode.
Right, yeah, but I mean, I don't know. Is it like now we're learning, and now we're learning algebra? I mean, well, I mean, I choose to think that Jason's 19 because he said once that he was 19, and I was like, I guess I'm going to go with that not being a lie, because why would you say you're 19 in a bar if you're not 19? If you're going to lie about your age in a bar, wouldn't you say you're 21?
Yeah, but it's Jason. He doesn't look
anyway.
He doesn't come off as 19 to me. I don't know.
No, but I can't really pinpoint. But I mean, he doesn't come off as that young either.
Well, no, I'm just getting more like 16, 17.
I mean, I'm around a lot of 19-year-olds. Jason's a believable 19.
Okay.
I'm gonna put it that way. So yeah, I mean, yes, I can see. I did think when Bruce first came up, I was like, "Oh, he's old." But there's something about the guys. I like it because I like that now Dick has, dealt with his issues, and he is, it shows him growing up, and he's talking to Bruce, and they're having a reasonably okay relationship. But I just think the guy who plays Bruce, he's really flat.
Yeah, I mean, you don't want too excitable Bruce Wayne, but yeah, I get what you're saying. Again, it took me out of it because it was like another thing, another example of him being too old. It seemed like he's too flat.
I guess for me the criticism was, and yeah, no, I wasn't expecting him to be like, well, I wasn't expecting him to be like me. But it felt a little bit when they were having their conversation, particularly in the first episode, it felt a little bit more as though the Bruce Wayne was reading his lines and not acting so much as just saying the words.
Yeah. I get it, because it seemed like he had no energy. Again, came off to me as, oh, I'm old, I have no energy. Because at least with Bruce Wayne, you should have some it should seem like you have some like smoldering internal, something.
So yes, he's not an ideal Bruce Wayne, but I'm excited that he's in there. And now, I mean, mostly actually, I'm just excited that Dick's having a good relationship with Bruce Wayne. That's
and it's like, is Bruce like retired or semi-retired or something? Because like then in the second episode, Dick calls him and he's like, how'd I know you'd still be awake? But he's sitting in the house in the middle of the night. I'm like, are you supposed to be out on the streets, old man?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure what time of day it was.
Well,
I assume Gotham is on Eastern time, so he's 3 hours ahead.
I was going to say, well, it's got to be either the same or probably ahead of San Francisco, don't you think? So I'm like, I think it's night in it's evening at least in San Francisco.
Yeah, I mean, he probably should have been out, but maybe it was just before he goes out. I don't know. I mean, Bruce Wayne's a gazillionaire who owns the company. I mean, it's not like he has to go to work.
No, but it's like, take your Metamucil and get out there, old man.
I know, and I did kind of laugh when and he was reading to, was it Chinese or Japanese?
Oh, I don't know, but yeah, I did see that. Yeah,
because it was The Art of War, which I think is by Chinese. Sun Tzu is Chinese, I think.
Then Rachel's reading it too, not in the
right. Yeah, but she's reading
translated.
Yeah, by Sun Tzu. Yeah, it's Chinese, so I was pretty sure. And so of course when they pan in, I was like, oh my god, of course you have to be like, oh yeah, Bruce Wayne could read it in the original Chinese. I'm like, whatever.
Because he studied there, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it's written in ancient Chinese, which isn't even the same Chinese as they speak nowadays. So what? He went back and studied with Confucius.
No, but he's probably maybe he studied with some historian. Hello.
Yeah, maybe he did, but I just feel like Bruce Wayne doesn't have to know all the languages to be impressive.
And I wonder if are we gonna get an Alfred eventually? If Bruce Wayne looks this old, how old was Alfred?
But whatever. It did make me laugh. Because I was like, but at the same time I expected it. And I was like, of course. As soon as they started showing the Chinese, I'm like, this is gonna be Bruce. Because of course he's reading it, because obviously why is Dick having them read it? Because Bruce made him read it.
Yeah.
But I do like that. Dick basically being everybody's dad. I dig it.
I don't know. I mean, I know they share similar personality traits, but do you think Jason's like kind of like a combination of Jason and Damian almost?
Sorry, say that again.
I said, do you think Jason's like a combination of like the Jason Todd character and Damian? Because like especially like the scene with the blindfold and stuff that so came off as like Damian to me. It's like, come on, don't hold back. Wow, why'd you hit me?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose maybe. I mean, I guess it would make sense because kind of when you think about it, I mean, Jason's a little bit underdeveloped as Robin, honestly.
I mean, he really didn't get that much time as Robin before they killed him.
Right, yeah, that's what I mean. And plus, his time as Robin was split into two Jasons.
Oh, yeah.
There was like redheaded Jason that was pretty much a clone of Dick.
Yeah.
And then they realized that's weak. We can do better. Or at least more original. And so obviously this Jason is Jason 2.0, that is Street Kid Jason. But I mean, I think that Jason was only around for 2 years, maybe.
Yeah, because Crisis was done in 86. Yeah, he got killed off in 88. So yeah.
Yeah, 2 or 3 years. So yeah, he didn't have very. So yeah, and plus, if I'm not mistaken, by that time, it's kind of like Tim of course got a lot of development because he was Robin for quite a while and he had his own Robin series. Yes. But by the time Jason was Robin, it wasn't a guarantee that Robin would be in every issue the way it was in the beginning. I mean, because for the first 30 years of Dick being Robin, he was pretty much, I mean, that's one thing that I always find amusing is the comics had to find a reason why Robin wasn't in there. So like if Robin wasn't in an episode, Batman would be like, oh, well, Dick's at the school dance tonight or whatever. So even though Jason was, for 5, I guess like he pops up in 83 and dies in 88, he's in there for 5 years, but it's not as though he's in every issue in those 5 years of Batman or Detective.
Well, they might have tried to use him sparingly too, because I think I heard that they said, yeah, he rubbed people the wrong way, and people thought he was trying to, he'd be like, how dare he take Dick Grayson's place, and then when the 89, when they started making that.
So I mean, so if they want to borrow some stuff from Damian, I mean, I guess they might as well because they really don't have. I mean, Jason's gotten much more development as Red Hood.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, and also Jason got a lot of development as Dead Jason. Where it's everybody remembering what they want about Jason, and where DC kept trying to excuse themselves for killing Jason, where they're like, oh yeah, he was like unstable and bad from the start. You're like, you're just saying that so you feel less guilty about killing a teenager.
Well, yeah, they said too, like that. I guess they did that too because it was right before the 1989 Batman movie, and there was no Robin in that, and they're like, oh, they wanted to take Batman back to like his dark loner roots and stuff.
I know that always cracks me up when they're like, we want to take Batman back to his roots. I'm like, oh, so you mean Batman and Robin because he was only on his own for 11 issues, or oh, you want him to have a gun? Oh, okay.
Yeah. You want him to hang guys off the bat plane?
Like, whatever. That's a different debate. Yeah, I'm just worried. Hopefully, Jason doesn't die because I don't want the Titans to be responsible for Jason dying.
Well, I just
can't.
Well, again, they could do like in the comics where like, they tell him, stay back, and he doesn't stay back. And it's like, I just wonder if if they are going to do that, if they're going to take, at least, what he appeared in the first season, this season, and however long, build him up where people actually care about the character to a certain extent and then kill him. I mean, because I was thinking, I was like, instead of the Joker, I wonder if they would have Deathstroke kill him this time.
I think the thing is I just don't necessarily. I just don't want. Number one, it'd be interesting if they had a way for Jason not to die. That'd be fascinating. But I just don't want. Like Jason dying, that's Bruce's burden. So I don't want it. I don't know. It would feel weird if it's transferred to the Titans, and it would, of course, most affect Dick. And I don't know.
Well, that's what I'm wondering if they're doing. Yeah, if they're going to transfer that to Dick, just because is that why he's living with him full time now and stuff, and then Dick's going to be like, well,
in the comics, he already felt kind of guilty about Jason dying because that's how heroes are.
But Dick wasn't around. I'm trying to remember. I don't think he was even. I think he came back weeks because he was off planet with the Titans. I don't even think he was even on Earth. So he was like, oh, he
right? Yeah, no, it's not until Titans 55 he comes back and finds out Jason died and Bruce didn't even call him. I mean, I don't know how it was the 80s. I don't know how you call someone off world, but if anyone could figure it out, Bruce Wayne could. And then they have that fight in the cave, and Bruce hits him and is like, "Leave your key," and it's very angsty.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, I shouldn't have left." And he's with the gravestone with Corey, and he's like, "It's my fault. If I hadn't stopped being Robin, Jason wouldn't have been Robin, and then he wouldn't be dead." It's like, I mean, okay, yeah, technically, I guess, but I mean, it's not your fault. It's the fault of Joker. He's the one who killed him.
Mm-hmm.
But thanks. I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, whatever, if they do it, they do it. It's not like they care about my opinion, but I would prefer that it doesn't happen that way.
Yeah, I just wondered if that was one of the reasons they bumped him up to every episode, being in every episode, just because are they building up this character for people to care about him just so they can kill him later down the line?
Wait, you think they are doing that, or you think they're not?
I think they might. I mean, that's what I'm saying. I wonder if that's why they're putting him in every episode now. So so people start caring about the character.
That's the thing is then it'd be like. I just think I feel like this is Titans. This is a bit on the darker side of Dick Grayson. I mean, it's not totally inauthentic to the comics. It's just on the darker side of an interpretation of him.
I mean, they fixed some of that dark stuff because he's not running around now screaming F Batman and stuff.
Well, right, but that's what I mean is that if Jason dies while he's with the Titans, then we're gonna get back to that super dark Dick because he would feel the small amount of responsibility he feels in the comics. He would feel 10,000 times that responsibility if Jason dies while he's with the Titans. So that is my fear.
But Dick just needs to put on the suit already. Come on.
That won't solve all problems, Phil. He would, even if he's Nightwing, he will still be sad if Jason dies.
I know. But he just needs that suit no matter what. But no, did you see? I guess there was an article. They're like, oh, yeah. I guess Minka Kelly, who plays Dove, must have shared this picture from the set, and it's a real grainy picture, but it almost looks like him.
Oh yeah, you put that picture up in our. I think you put that on, but I couldn't tell. I was like.
It's very dark, yeah, and it almost really all you can see almost looks like a stripe. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. I'll just wait. I mean, I know what the Nightwing outfit looks like. I mean, I know that they're not going to go disco wig, which is tragic, but... Oh, I do have to say, also with Titans, so I'm digging how Donna and Corey are working on their way to becoming BFFs because, that's authentic to the comics and awesome. And those first 2 episodes, I liked Hank so much more. When he is not taking the drugs and not being Rage Monster. And so, I hesitate to see because I feel like for Hank, not being Hawk was really, I mean, okay, it's only been 2 episodes, but not being Hawk was really good for him. He felt like he was in a really good place in that second episode. So I hope he can stay in that good place because he was much more likable in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they blamed it on the drugs and stuff, but yeah, I'm just wondering if they're like people didn't like that first season either, so like, yeah, we'll smooth that over and stuff. And yeah, it's I think they've improved this so far over the first season. Just the little things.
Right. And I mean, for me, the preference is it already feels less gritty.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it is less gritty. And so yes, that's a delight, in my opinion.
And then what was it, episode 2? We saw Dr. Light.
Sorry, what?
Dr. Light.
Oh yeah. So that's one of their original villains, right? Like he started in the 60s.
Yeah, cause he was kind of like a joke back then, but then what was it, like 2003? In I don't know, did you ever read Identity Crisis?
Yes, but only once.
Yeah,
and I mostly remember it because that's when Tim's dad dies.
Yeah. Basically, they make Dr. Light a rapist, and then they show the League like lobotomized him, and then he remembers and comes back all mad. He's like, you lobotomized me and use me as a punching bag for your children.
Dang.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot that. Yeah. Intense.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I look forward to see what happens with Deathstroke. Well, and of course, I'm interested in what's happening with Corey. You know, did that dude kidnap her to take her back home? Are we gonna get Blackfire? Yeah, Blackfire. That's her sister, right? I mean, who knows?
So, are they saving on makeup instead of her whole race being like golden people? Are they all just black people?
I guess that's what it seems to be.
That's what it looks like.
That seems. I mean, I suppose that's reasonable.
Yeah.
It's cost effective, I guess.
But I always find that weird on TV shows where it's like, the aliens look just like us.
I mean, yeah, it will help her blend in because obviously, like, that's always one of the weirdest things about Corey is she's very clearly orange, like oranger than Donald Trump. So how is she blending in as?
And she's like, I know. And then she's like, what, 6'4", 6'5"?
And she's like 7 feet tall.
Yeah.
And orange.
Well, no, in the 80s, I think she was just 6 foot tall, but that hair was like another foot tall.
Okay, well, her hair was 7 feet tall then. So, I mean, I just know she's supposed to be taller than Dick, although I don't know if she is in the show. And they forget that sometimes in more modern comics. Anyway, and I liked it when her hair was curlier, but now they seem to be having her straighten it. Whatever. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, so far I've been enjoying it. So, and I was nervous that people would feel kind of shoehorned in, but so far it's been.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure when they're going to get to Superboy. I mean, I don't know if it feels like that's not going to be the next episode because the next episode is titled Ghost. So I feel like that must be something with Deathstroke.
Yeah, I wonder if they're going to do it like Cadmus or how they're going to do Superboy. But I mean, unless that's going to be more like the Dr. Light storyline, because
whatever.
Is Deathstroke going to be the whole season?
Yeah. So and I feel like the Titans have encountered Deathstroke before. Didn't you get that impression? I mean, because Jason was the one that identified Deathstroke because Dick was out with Rose, but I think it was because Jason ran onto the camera in the first episode and said, "The Titans are back." That Deathstroke got geared up, right?
Yeah, okay. I did get that he must have encountered the last team, but I wasn't sure if Jason was just like, I know him from the Bat Computer files, you know.
Well, right, yeah, that's what I was thinking was Jason must know him from Batman. But I was like, but Deathstroke, they clearly made that connection because Deathstroke was originally a Titans villain. Even though then he became a cool villain, so we had to give him to other people.
And what did you think of Rose?
I thought that was interesting. I don't know a ton about Rose because I mostly only read stuff that has her in it when she appeared in the Nightwing comics back in, I think, the early 2000s, right? When Dick had to be out of his costume and on that whole Renegade arc. But Ravager is her character, right? And I think I read a couple because she was in the Teen Titans then with Tim for a little while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know a ton about her. Just that she's Deathstroke's daughter. Does she have powers? Well, she must.
I think I was trying to get the timeline straight in my head. I believe that I think maybe all of them, but I'm pretty sure. Yeah, like he had, he was already all supered up by the time when he conceived her. So I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure she's like him. The healing factor, and they enhanced. All that.
Yeah, like good fighter or whatever.
Yeah, so she's basically like teenage girl version of Deathstroke. Yeah,
well, that's good. They'll need that.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's looking forward. So yeah, what do you think? I think that I've enjoyed the first 2 episodes of this season more than I enjoyed last season.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think they've smoothed over a little, kind of the little imperfections, and I think it's a lot better than last season.
So yeah,
they figured out their groove. Yeah.
I was a little bit sad. I knew it wasn't going to be there, but I still had hope anyway that when they got to San Francisco, the Titans Tower was going to be a giant T. But I remember reading somewhere that somebody asked, "Hey, Jeff Johns, is Titans Tower going to be a T?" And Jeff Johns said, "Over my dead body." So I was like, "Oh, could it be a T?" And then it wasn't a T, and I was like, "Jeff Johns won." But
Plus, I think they're kind of. I don't know if they're trying to keep.
It makes sense for it not to be a giant T because, like, hello, that's not very secret.
I was going to say, yeah, that's a low profile.
Yeah, but it was still funny.
They should have at least had a T written on the front of the building or something.
Yeah, but not Snoopy. I assume it's Bruce's building.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'm sure. But I was going to say that unless they don't want it like a giant tower with a T on it, people might make comparisons to real life people. Bigly.
True. And yes. I mean, now that they're just Titans, people could confuse them with the football team.
Oh, yes, true. All right, so should we get?
Actually, I was somewhere and somebody was talking about the Titans, and I almost was like, "Oh, hey!" And then I realized they were talking about football, and I was like, "Never mind. I don't know anything about football." Oh, that was the other thing. So yes, now we have confirmation that Gar can transform into things other than just a tiger because he turned into a snake. And then I think he's practicing. So that was good. Because I think in the first season he only ever became a tiger.
I was almost like, so has he been hiding the ability that he could be more than a tiger, or did like the beating he took make it like change him or something? Uh-oh.
Sorry.
That's okay.
I think I blinked out. Okay, that's a sign then that we should go on to the Nightwing.
Yes. Nightwing 64.
Nightwing 64.
Yes.
Today.
Yes, just today.
Would you like to go first, Phil?
Sure. I like this cover. This is I think this is one of the better covers we've had in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's good. It's jazzy.
But we get William Cobb, the Talon, and the Prodigal Bar.
Yep. I know. I'd forgotten that it was called the Prodigal Bar, and then I was like, "Oh, that's cute." A little callback. Overall, I thought it was good. I was so glad that he just tied B up, and otherwise she was relatively unscathed. I mean, the mental scars will be there, but physically she was fine. So that made me happy because I was very nervous.
Well, yeah, I mean, she's bait, and too, I wonder if Talon thinks he can use her as leverage to bring Dick over to the dark side.
Yeah.
But
like I said, I calmed down a little. I'm still nervous about what's going to happen to her in the long run but I was glad she lives to see another issue.
Yes. I love the art.
But yeah, overall I thought it was good. About the only thing that annoyed me a little bit, and I realize I just need to chill and recognize that it will not make sense necessarily because constraints of comic books, bloody McBlah. But when Big had his little thing about, the butler and the redhead, they came and they said they love me, but I can't love them because I don't remember them. I was like, or you could hang out with them and try to learn to know them again. I mean, it's not like you remembered B, you made a new connection with somebody. that just kind of annoyed me. And I realize it's in there because for whatever reason, we need to keep Dick Rick out of Gotham for whatever's going on. But that's about the only thing that just kind of doesn't really feel like the character to me. It feels as though if, he woke up and people said to him, hey, we were your family in the years that you forgot, that he would try to get to know them again. It just feels.
Yeah, that bugged me too. And it was just, I know there's probably story reasons why they want to keep him this way, but I don't know. I keep trying to explain it away as like, oh, maybe there's a subconscious part of his brain that's like, oh, they're from the old life. The old life hurt me.
Yeah, so. And I mean, I guess that, yes, if he's trying to, like, I don't want to have that life, but he's already getting back into it, and that's not how they explained it in this issue. In this issue, the lines were basically like, oh, I don't remember them, so I can't love them back. I'm like, you are loving B, and you just met her, so you could try.
It doesn't seem weird that he doesn't remember any of like his family, but it's like when B calls him and says, oh, the Talon's here, he's like, oh, the Talon, almost like he remembers them. I'm like, shouldn't you have been like, who's the Talon?
Yeah, so I think it's just it has to be one of those, suspend your disbelief. Why is it that sometimes the Batman family really makes sense as a family, and sometimes it's like every man is an island, and we must forget that they have allies. Because I think it is getting better.
Oh yeah, it is.
It's just they'll sometimes throw these things in where I think your justification for why he's not hanging out with his family still strikes me as weak.
Yes, yeah, I agree. But I'm just wondering if they're going to start ramping it up more because, since one of our cops got injured and because they're like, oh, well, Nightwing's missing. And he's like, oh, I'm standing,
Yeah.
He's kind of faded away. So I'm just wondering if Dick's like, well, I'm going to have to ramp it up and, get back in the suit and stuff, even if he doesn't get his memory back.
God, I hope he gets his memory back, though.
Yeah.
I realize that'll involve some comic book science, but.
And I mean, if he doesn't right away, at least put him back in the suit. I'm just like, for all these smart cops he's hanging out with, none of them making the connection. Hey, maybe this is could this be Nightwing?
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, exactly. I mean, it's the same thing. There's no way Commissioner Gordon doesn't know that Bruce Wayne is Batman.
I mean, it's just like every issue. How many issues are going to go where you say, oh, we can't keep up with him. Oh, look at the way he moves, jumping off buildings like that.
Right, like, wow, why is this cabbie so good? I wonder. Yeah, I mean, particularly because they're supposed to be good cops.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. At least Staff, isn't he supposed to be pretty
like Staff is a detective.
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
Especially with that grease paint over Rick's eyes. Shouldn't that look a little like the Nightwing mask? Be like, hey,
it totally does. That's why they're doing. Yeah, I think he'll get his memories back though, because that's how they do it in comic books. I mean, remember when Bruce had that amnesia? I mean, he got his memories back because that's part of the thing with comic books is you have the illusion of change, but it ultimately needs to go back. Yeah, it can't change too much. So he's gonna have this like, whoops, I had this Rick moment because I had amnesia, but I'm gonna get it back, and we'll go back to wherever, to like whatever's going on. And that's why I'm afraid. That's one of the reasons I'm afraid for B. One, because even though they've been called on it, comics still frequently treat women as expendable. Particularly, I feel like non-superhero girlfriends. Like, oh, you're just like a civilian woman. You're going in the fridge.
Especially one just created for this storyline. Yeah,
exactly right. And that's the other reason why I'm afraid is because she's very much wrapped up with this storyline, and I can see them being like, oh, B died, Dick gets his memory back, because she's like the only person that he really has aside from these cops that he has this personal connection with. So it'll just be like, poof, this whole run of comics, it's like barely happened. You have nothing to show for it.
All right, here's a question. At the end of the Rick Grayson arc, he gets his memories back, he gets his identity back and everything. Would you rather they kill B off, or he leaves her and we never see her again, but she's alive out there somewhere?
What do I think will happen?
What would you rather see happen?
I would much rather her just like go off into the sunset.
Okay, that's what I figured.
I'd much rather be like, you know what? I'm moving to Denver
There you go.
later. And just, or like wherever. Because I mean, isn't that kind of what happened with Sean? The girlfriend. I mean, she didn't die. She just kind of started, I don't know, I'm defacing again, and now I'm just,
Yeah, but that's always weird too, because it's just like these when you switch writers and everything, 'cause it's like, oh, these characters mean so much to each other. Oh, new writer. Oh, hey, where'd that other person go?
Right.
Yeah. And again, memory loss. So.
Sorry, what?
But again, and he has amnesia, so it's like.
Right. So.
But no, I've been liking the last couple. I think they've been getting better again. So.
Yeah, no, I think I think they've worked some of the kinks out with the amnesia, and it's not. I mean, the stories are written well. It's just generally I don't like it. And so it's like I don't like him having amnesia. So really, no matter how well you write the story, like I'm still not. I'll appreciate that this was a good story, but I still won't totally love it. Particularly because then I'll nitpick things where like we just were, oh, I don't remember them, so I can't love them. Just hang out with them again and they can be your family again. It's not hard.
I might have to reach out to Dan Jurgens to try to get an interview. Be like, oh, what's the plan? How long is this gonna go?
He probably does not. I mean, I don't know if any of them are like huge fans of this. I mean, it can't be. I mean, I don't know. I don't read the message boards for my own mental health. Yeah. But people I've talked to, I don't get a sense that many Nightwing fans are really digging this. I mean, I'm sure there's some people who crave people who like novelty more than I do. I mean, probably like it, but I feel as though the majority probably are not that into it. And so it probably kind of sucks. Because I mean, it's not like he's a bad writer, but I mean, if your editorial mandate is you have to do this thing that most of the fans hate, it can't be fun.
That's why I would just like to talk to him. I'll be like, how much is this his editorial mandate? Can you give us a hint how long it might keep going?
I think most of it's a mandate.
Oh yeah,
I mean, because they had a different plan. It was going to be Vertigo, which would have been.
Well, yeah, they lost their original writer. Then I think they were scrambling because they had a bunch of fill-in guys, and then they finally settled on Dan Jurgens.
Right.
All right.
Speaking of questionable decisions, then. Is Tim officially Drake now?
Supposedly, that's what everyone's saying because him and the other team members of Young Justice are on Earth 3, and his evil doppelganger was like, "My name's Drake." He's like, "Why did I think of that? Because it's stupid." One, it's your last name. It was like during World War II, Captain America and Bucky. Bucky's secret identity was Bucky.
Yeah, I don't really do Captain America, but yeah, Bucky Barnes, like his name is like people called him Bucky. That wasn't just his.
Yeah, no. I mean, his given name was like James or something, but it's like everyone.
God, I hope his parents didn't name him Bucky.
But like everyone called him. Who knew him calling him Bucky.
Yeah.
But yeah, so one, it's Tim's it's Tim's last name. Two, it's the name of a rapper. It's a kind of duck.
Right. I mean, I told that to my dad, and I was like, "So, Tim Drake, guess what? He's not gonna be Red Robin anymore." He was like, "Really?" And I said, he's gonna be Drake. And my dad goes, like that singer?
No.
And I said, yes, or a male duck.
That's all Bendis right there.
Like I said, it is a slight improvement when you say your superhero name to have people say like the rapper than it is to have people say like the hamburger chain. So that is a slight improvement. Now when he says I'm Red Robin, people won't go yum afterwards. So that's a little improvement. But
I know, but I'd still rather it was Red Robin.
I mean, I guess when I think about it, I mean Drake. I mean, it kind of sounds. I mean, it's kind of cool. I mean, if it weren't cool, the rapper wouldn't go by it. Obviously, rappers are inherently cool. But it still seems a little odd because his last name is Drake. Although, isn't it, since the reboot, his last name was something else and Drake is his witness protection last name, which seems not like a good plan when you're in witness protection to use your witness protection last name as your superhero name.
Yeah, but I think that was New 52 again. I don't know if they threw that out once Rebirth hit. Again, it's like,
oh, okay, was it?
Yeah,
I was never 100% sure when they rebirthed what exactly was in and what was out.
All right, I looked it up. You know why Drake, the rapper Drake, is called Drake? It's his middle name.
Where'd you read that?
On the internet, and it never lies. No, it says his full name is Aubrey Drake Graham.
What? He has what website? He used to be Timothy Jackson Drake. This is blowing my mind.
No, the rapper.
Oh, the rapper. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yes.
See the confusion you're already causing.
Yeah, I got way confused there. I was like, what? Because you said Rebirth. I was like, what? They totally changed his name? See?
I mean, I think with Rebirth, they threw out a lot of the stuff they introduced with New 52 because people were like, really?
I mean, which is fine by me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely.
Like I said, I always thought it was stupid to try to simplify the timeline anyway.
Yeah.
Don't bother.
Everyone was like Robin for a year. Exactly.
And Bruce was 29. No, he's not. Yes. And they took away the short pants. Never. The short pants will always be there.
Right.
So, yes. I mean, it could be worse. He could have picked something worse. He could have been like, I'm going to go by Tim now.
Yeah, true, I guess.
That would have been way worse.
I don't know. Just Red Rock. I don't know. Just
he could have picked a different bird, I guess. But like the best one, like Talon's kind of taken. Raptor, I feel like that's already taken, right?
Yeah. I mean, I know it was his car, but what about Red Wing?
Red Wing, and that's a hockey team. No, it's out.
Yeah, but it's like it would work too with like, Nightwing, Red Wing.
It's just not as good as Nightwing, though.
I know,
like,
not well.
That's a really cool one.
Well, that's Tim Drake, pretty cool, but not as good as Nightwing.
Oh, burn! You are gonna get comments about that one.
Fight me, nerds.
Let's go. Okay, so maybe Tim is not as cool as Dick, but he can be smarter. Not that Dick is dumb, and not that Tim is not cool.
Tim is the second best Robin. There's
what? What'd you say?
I said Tim is the second best Robin. There's no shame in that. It's Dick, Tim, Jason, and Damian. They're always fighting for that. Although I don't know, these days I kind of like Jason a little more than Damian.
As Robin, or just in general?
No, just in general. I don't know.
Red Hood suits Jason much better than Robin.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's really allowed him to become a character that is not a copy of another character or just a Robin that people don't like.
Sure.
I mean, like, Jason is really, he's like Hansel. He's so hot right now.
All right. Is that it?
Yes.
Okay, anyway.
That's it.
All right, everyone. So send us your thoughts as Titans continues, the Nightwing comic continues. We'll see where Tim Drake goes from here. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/Nightwing News Podcast. Follow us on Twitter @Nightwing News. Follow Capes and Lunatics on Instagram. Subscribe to the Capes and Lunatics YouTube channel, our weekly newsletter, capesandlunatics.home.blog. Call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. What was that?
I said, man, you have like all the social media.
That's right. I have all of the social medias.
Damn.
All right. I was going to say, Kristen, what do you want to promote? But you never want to promote anything.
Nothing.
So get Dick Grayson, Boy Wonder. Go online, get that book. It's good. And stay tuned because we'll be covering a lot of old Dick Grayson appearances, preparing for the 80th anniversary next year.
Yeah, we'll have to decide when we want to start. I mean, we could wait until January to start, and we read them all in his 80th year.
Nah, we'll start. We'll start soon because if we do them all, it's gonna.
You need extra time to read.
Although I guess couldn't we do like art? We could do like arcs at a time, you know.
I'll compile the list and make a plan.
Okay, because there's Dick as Robin, Dick as Nightwing. There's even Dick as Batman on there. So.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but I think we'll probably start with him as Robin. I feel like we should go vaguely chronologically.
Yeah, we could do chronological. That's fine. But yeah, so basically him and
so we can watch him grow.
There's even a Grayson issue in there. I believe he put on there. So yeah, so Dick and all his incarnations.
Yeah, we got to have a little bit of everything.
Yep. All right. So yes, send your favorite Dick Grayson issues. They're probably on our list, but
just because it's a big list.
Yes, just in case we missed one though. But until then, yes. So join us next time. Send your thoughts on, like I said, on the Titans episodes, on the next issue of Nightwing. So check out Nightwing 65 when it comes out in a month. And write to DC, tell them you want Dick Grayson back already.
They won't tell.
And I'll try to reach out to Dan Jurgens to get an interview. So I want to know all the behind the scenes. That's right. So until next month, remember, Graysons, keep flying.